With the 2022 Las Vegas Summer League coming to a close a few weeks ago at the time I'm recording this video, us fans were able to get a good glimpse of the future talent in the NBA and what they have to offer. While this year's Summer League wasn't as important as last year's own, in my opinion, us Toronto Raptors fans still had plenty of reasons to tune in. From seeing what our rookies could bring to the table this season, the improvements that our second-year players have made, and what other undrafted free agents could do well in the Summer League and potentially earn a roster spot on either the main roster or the 905. And considering that my video on this topic last year was my first video on my channel to kind of blow up and get me a ton of subscribers, I decided to honor its legacy and see if lightning could strike twice. But guys, before we go further into the video, please remember to leave a like on the video, share and subscribe. I'll greatly appreciate any support you're willing to give. And also, if you're interested in anything I do outside of YouTube, give me a follow on Instagram and TikTok at SportsButCasually. The link to both social medias would be in a link tree in the description below. So this was our 50-man roster heading into this year's Summer League. The Raptors actually had a very impressive Summer League showcase. We went 4-1 and had a chance of tying the second place team for a chance to make the Summer League Finals going into Game 4 versus the Heat. But unfortunately, we had to win the game by, I believe, 18 or more points. And at one point we were up by 21, but we couldn't maintain that lead and only ended up winning by 10. Summer League left us with a lot to talk about. And since you guys already know how these grading videos typically work, I wouldn't bother really explaining it. So why don't you guys join me while I give out my grades for each Raptors player's 2022 Summer League performance. What's going on, everybody? Just a quick pause in the video. So I initially recorded it right after Jeff Dowtin was signed to his two-way deal, but with work and life in general, I've been sticking to get it out. So that's why it's coming out late after the Juancho Hernan-Gomez signing and us cutting Armoni Brooks. So just keep that in mind when you're watching the video. It was recorded before we signed Hernan-Gomez and cut Brooks. With a full roster competing for playing time, it's only natural that some players won't see the court as much as other players. So unfortunately, the following players were unable to receive a grade due to their lack of playing time: Abu Kigab, Christian Vital, Jalen Sims, Alex Barcelo, and Trey Porter. Another player who will unfortunately not be receiving a grade is Justin Champagine, who picked up an injury right before playing his brother and the 76ers in the first game of Summer League. And I was very disappointed. Champagine was a player I was looking forward to watching the most in Summer League. I know how much he dominated the G League last season, was developing his three-point shot, and also seeing him in his limited minutes and time he had with the main roster. You all remember he almost scored that game winner versus OKC. So I was really looking forward to see how he developed his game, but injuries are a part of the game. Now that we got those guys out of the way, let's focus on the players who are actually receiving a grade. Christian Koloko was our only draft pick in the 2022 NBA draft, being selected 33rd overall. And he fits the bill of most of the draft picks selected by Masai Ujiri during his time with the Raptors. Incredibly raw, but with a ton of potential. The 7-footer out of Arizona played all 5 games and had an all-around pretty good Summer League. Yeah, he shot inefficiently and racked up a ton of fouls, but defensively he was exactly as advertised. His long arms mixed with his surprising quickness allowed him to not only anchor the paint, but effectively switch out onto the perimeter at times. Which is exactly what the Raptors were looking for when they drafted him. Yeah, I know, he needs to develop a lot offensively. His footwork is really lacking and he needs to have better touch around the rim when finishing. But in the Summer League, we also saw him take a couple of strides. He's even knocked down a couple of threes. I mean, it was only 2, but still, he wasn't doing that in college. His goal, just like every other Raptors newbie, will be to develop his game offensively. So with that being said, I'm going to give Christian Koloko a B for his all-around decent Summer League performance. Ron Harper Jr. is our second rookie this season, and he is the son of a former 5-time NBA champion. So I guess you can say that he adds to our championship pedigree as an organization. I mean, it could work. The 6'6" Rutgers prospect ended up going undrafted this year and ended up signing with us on a 2-way deal. In college, he was known for being clutch, with his high basketball IQ, and worked both on and off the ball. However, he isn't really the most athletic player, and he's definitely not the best defender out there. In Summer League, he was used more off-ball and sadly did struggle a lot offensively, shooting under 22% on his over 4.5 threes a game. However, defensively, he did play with a lot of effort and energy. He crashed the boards a lot and ended up with the most total rebounds on the entire team. It was disappointing that he didn't have a better showing, but I did see some flashes of what he can potentially do in the league, and will just need a lot of time in the 905 to help develop his game on both ends. Unfortunately, I'm going to give RHJ a C for his overall Summer League performance this year. Dalano Banton really had an up and down time during his second stint with the Raptors in Summer League. On one hand, the positives: he was put in charge of running and initiating the offense for the entire team and showed some real positives and real growth on that end. He hit his 3-pointers at a good clip and still showed how dangerous he is in transition, attacking the basket, pushing the pace, and using his tall frame to be a pest on defense. However, he did still struggle in the half court. He tried to fit some passes in which had no reason to ever be considered, and he finished with more turnovers than assists, which is always no bueno. Overall, it was a fairly positive showing for Banton in his second time in Summer League. Yes, he does need to be a better decision maker before I feel comfortable with him running the second unit for the main roster, but he still does offer us a lot of upside on defense and in transition. Not to mention, if he can hit his threes at a good clip, I don't see a reason why his role won't be expanded going into next season. Dalano Banton is going to get a B for me for his overall Summer League performance. A lot of downs, but still, I think there was more ups than there were downs. Still a good showing. Somebody who didn't have a good showing at Summer League was David Johnson. So I guess second time is not the charm. He came off the bench in all 4 of his appearances and did a whole bunch of nothing. It seemed that he couldn't throw the ball into the ocean, not even his free throws. He didn't even average 4 points and didn't shoot over 30% from the field. As a former second-round pick in his second Summer League appearance, a lot was expected from him, especially coming off a poor overall 2021-22 905 campaign. With no more 2-way contract spots available and only 1 spot in training camp left, I really don't think David Johnson has done enough in order to secure that and get another chance to show that he belongs with the Raptors. I'm giving David Johnson a D for his overall Summer League performance, and trust me, that's being very generous. Armoni Brooks joined the Raptors late last season and came into the Summer League this season with the intent of cementing his roster spot with the Raptors. Brooks is a shooter and he played right into that role as he attempted the most shots and 3-pointers on the entire team. However, despite stellar showcases in his first and last game, his 2 other showcases and overall stat line were very underwhelming. Sub 40% from the field, sub 28% from 3, and even though he doesn't draw much contact, even when he did get to the line, he only shot about 57% on his free throws. If you're a shooter, your shooting numbers are the best way to judge you. To me, it's that simple. However, this team does need shooting, so maybe we keep him around, or maybe we don't. He did show some flashes in the Summer League, but I just need him to be more consistent. I'm going to give Brooks a C+ for his overall Summer League performance. Had a high highs, he had high highs, but very god-awful lows. DJ Wilson was the designated veteran for this team, and he used his experience to have an overall decent Summer League performance. He did have his struggles shooting the ball and staying out of foul trouble from time to time, but he did also work on and showcase the things that make him stand out and remain on the roster come October. He fits our mold of big men who could do it all. He can space the floor and go at it in the paint. He also showcased the ability to play make, however he needs to work on it a lot. But overall, it was a pretty decent showing from DJ Wilson. And for that, I'm going to give him a B- for his overall Summer League performance. Showcased what he needed to and a skill set that might keep him around come October and the beginning of the season. Up next, we have Rudions Karooks, a former Brooklyn Net and a current horrible person overall who was invited to join the Raptors in his Summer League team, which surprised and upset the fans. Because why wouldn't it? Although he was a decent shooter during his time in the league, he struggled behind the arc. But other than that, he was alright. Defensively, he was actually second on the team in total blocks and tied for 4th in total steals. Offensively, he also finished top 5 in total rebounds and assists. He was also very efficient on his 2-pointers, which made his Summer League outing an overall pretty good one. For that, I'm going to give Rudions Karooks a B- for his Summer League performance. A decent outing. Don't want him on the team though, not a good guy, Ryan Hawkins went undrafted in the 2022 NBA draft and is a former prospect of Creighton, I hope I'm pronouncing that correct, and Northwest Missouri State. Fun fact, besides being a 2-time Division II national champion, he also flat out dominated the Division II on a whole. Like, bro, just look at his accomplishments. Just look at those accolades. They're fantastic. He barely got more playing time than the other undrafted free agents who went ungraded, but he did show us that he was a good shooter. Don't let that field goal percentage fool you. 80% of his shots were threes, and he knocked them down at a very good clip. I wished he got more playing time, as I think he's the type of player that the Raptors tend to take a chance on and like to develop. But who knows if he'll end up making the 905 roster or any other roster in the NBA as a whole. I'm wishing the best for him. I'm giving Ryan Hawkins a C+ for his overall Summer League performance, and I'm hoping he bounces up on an NBA or G League roster soon and gets to showcase what he could do. Finally, it's time to talk about the Raptors Summer League MVP. Former G League champion and 2020 undrafted free agent, Jeff Dowtin. He completely controlled the pace of the game, splitting point guard duties with Dalano Banton. However, where he differed from Dalano was that he was able to create for others and also generate his own offense in the half court. He was very efficient shooting the ball from almost anywhere. Only turned the ball over twice and played smart one-on-one and team defense. He was incredible and was rewarded for his hard work a few days later as the Toronto Raptors signed him to a 2-way deal. Because he was so fantastic, I'm giving Jeff Dowtin an A for his overall Summer League performance. MVP. And guys, that brings us to the end of this video. Summer League is in the rearview mirror, and the next thing to look forward to would be training camp and preseason, which would be here before we even know it. The one thing we all have to keep an eye on is who's going to end up taking the final roster spot for training camp and ending up trying to fight to remain on the team for the beginning of the NBA season. I got a whole video based on that coming out and who I think should make the final roster, but that'll come out closer to the time training camp starts. We still have a while away. But until then, guys, why don't y'all tell me what you think about our overall Summer League performance? Who are some players that disappointed you? Who really stand out? Let me know your overall thoughts on the whole thing in my comments below. I would love to hear them. Guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Please remember to leave a like, share, and subscribe. I'll greatly appreciate it. And I will see y'all next time. Take care, and later.